Good morning. You are watching the Christian Office on Tour CAO TV talk show, and I have my co-host Leroy McKenzie Jr. Hello, Leroy.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody.
Yes, and wow, can you believe we are in October?
I know, I know.
Where is the time going, right?
2018, 2018 has just flown by. I don't even, it's just like, okay, it will be 2019 in a
Before
minute.
we know it, right? Before we know it. And we have a wonderful, wonderful guest author here with us this morning, and we'll let you know a little bit more about her in a minute. But we're just going to do a couple of kind of housekeeping items for Christian authors on tour, right?
Absolutely. We got to take care of the house first. Got to take care of the house first.
So where do you want to start, Leroy? Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start. Let's start this week. Let's start with the calendar because
Okay.
to kind of let everybody know. Because as
Yes.
you know, I know we're in October already, as we talked about. But the Christian Authors on Tour has a wall calendar that highlights Christian authors.
Yes.
Each month, there's one special author each month that we just want to give people a little bit of information about, so you know a little bit more about them. And this month's author is Miss Vanessa. I hope I'm saying her last name right. Fortenberry. I think
Fortenberry.
Fortenberry.
Yes.
And Vanessa, and I'm gonna say it like that because I want to mess up the last name.
She'll go easy
I
on
know,
you.
right? But Vanessa actually is a native of Atlanta, and she has written two children's books, which
Yes,
is
she
really,
has.
really great. And the first title is "Daddy, I Want to Know God," and then the second one is "Mama, I Want to Know God" as well.
Yes,
So those are
yes.
two just great dynamic titles. First of all, to talk
Yes.
about having introducing children to God at a very early age where they
Yes.
can know who He is and give you that foundation. I know I always think about. I think about me growing up and just how the foundation that my mom gave us, and myself and my two sisters, how she gave us
Yes.
that foundation, and it was a thing where hey. That mama, I want to know who he is, and I always think about being 10 years old and going to my pastor, and asking him, Pastor Richardson, I'll never forget him. I want to know God. What is
Yes.
because I want to know who He is for
Yes.
myself, and so
Absolutely.
those are two very I think powerful books and a
Yes.
good way that we can introduce our children to who God is and everything. So
Absolutely. And so if you want to purchase the calendar, you can go to www.christianauthorsontour.com, click on the products and services tab. And this
absolutely,
particular calendar in the month of October, it spotlights Vanessa Fortenberry, but it covers a whole plethora of
absolutely,
authors,
absolutely,
12
absolutely.
to be exact,
Right.
one for each month. And it's a great keepsake,
Yeah, that's
right?
what I was just going to. It
Yeah,
is a great
yeah.
keepsake. So even though the year may be gone, but it's actually something that you can actually keep because you'll become knowledgeable of authors that are out there. And this is one of those venues, one of those platforms that
Yes.
highlights authors that you wouldn't ordinarily get to hear about and know about. So
Absolutely. And not only that, it supports Christian Authors on Tour. And Christian Authors on Tour is a group of Christian authors, male and female, who write fiction and nonfiction, and we use writing as a tool for Christian ministry. And so we have the opportunity in the odd number years of getting together and coordinating a multi-state Christian book tour. So we're gearing up for 2019, and we're so looking forward to that. And so by purchasing a calendar, you're helping to sow into good soil for some of the work that we're looking forward to do in the upcoming year,
I
right?
know 2019. And I think we have the tour coming up in 2019.
Yes, we
So
do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And this year, 2018, has pretty much been a planning year for us. It's been an opportunity for us to hone in on some of the marketing and promotional opportunities that we make available to not just our members of Christian Authors on Tour, but other men and women who've been called by God. You
absolutely.
know, we don't have a monopoly on the calling by God. So we so excited, and I know you feel the same way, to be able to have a venue like the Christian Authors on Tour TV show on the WBGR Gospel Network, to be able to interview different men and women from all over the country who are writing these phenomenal books, right? And so it's just exciting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you just made me think of something, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lynn, but I don't know if there's anybody else that's doing anything like this. I'm just saying. I don't know if there's anybody else out there that has a TV show that highlights and spotlights authors with a mission, a message that that gives them the opportunity and talk about God and who He is. Absolutely. And the message that they have in their writing. So
again, I'm just so thankful for the opportunity, and we are hoping that you will come out on October the 14th.
Yeah.
Even though we aren't doing book tours this year, as I mentioned, we are doing different types of promotional events and opportunities, like the TV show, like our Blog Talk Radio show. But on October 14th, we are introducing the ladies of Christian Authors on Tour. And we are manifesting God's glory, walking in our 2 Corinthians 4:6-12 anointing. And so we want you to come out. This is happening Sunday, October 14th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Quality Inn Woodlawn, 1806 Belmont Avenue, 212, I want to say maybe 44.
I think that's, because that's Windsor Mill.
Yeah, but you can go to www.christianauthors.ontour.com to get more information. You can also call 800-929-1418. I'm pleased that Tracy Lydia Garner, France Neptune, Pastor Pamela Hammock, Deidre Garner, Jocelyn Whitfield, Catherine Smith, Tawanda Prince, Deborah D. Sally, all will be participating authors. And then our MC for the evening is Andrea Freeman Green. And so the way the evening works out, you'll have an opportunity to meet and greet these phenomenal women of God. They'll be selling their books. It's a book signing. But we'll also have 2 sets of panel discussions. And the panel discussions will be moderated by the MC, Andrea Freeman Green. But guess what, Leroy? It's absolutely free.
I know.
Free. So we definitely want you to come out and participate. The one thing, though, that I guess we're asking not only the participating authors, but the attendees to do is to be a blessing. And so at all of our Christian Authors on Tour events since 2011, in addition to hosting some type of literary event, we always have a missionary outreach connected to our events. And so for this particular event on October 14th, we are partnering with Praising Through Recovery, which is a substance abuse recovery program for men and women. But we are partnering with the ladies of Praising Through Recovery through their Covered Bridge Transitional Home. So we're asking participating authors and attendees to bring donated bathroom items, kitchen cleanser, bathroom cleanser, anything that you think a transitional home for women in recovery might need, even individual personal items like shampoo, conditioner, sanitary napkins, toothbrushes, toothpaste. They actually have, and when I say they, Praising Through Recovery, you can go to the website, www.praisingthroughrecovery.org. There's a wish list, and you can click on the wish list to see some of the different items that they are in need of. Bring one of those items with you on October 14th. We are donating. A representative from Covered Bridge and Praising Through Recovery will be there to accept the items, and so we're really excited about that too.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And with this month, October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I think that's an awesome event that not only ladies, but it's important for men to come out and to support events like this too, because trust me, there are many things that you can learn, because just like we had earlier this year when you had the men's responsibility of leadership, it was an opportunity not just for men to come and talk about leadership, but women to come participate and support men and being able to learn the things that they learn from a male perspective, just like this is going to give you a female perspective just on everything that's going on, what you all are going to be talking about, the panel discussions. The lineup is loaded. It's loaded. So you're going to get some great knowledge, great information, great resources that are going to come from this event, and it's free.
It's absolutely free. Yes.
So you can't say you did. I can't make it because of the for monetary reasons. Only thing we're asking is that you just donate, find something to donate and help someone else, and that's what part of what Christian Authors on Tour is about making life better for someone else. So.
Absolutely, and that brings us to this awesome woman of God
I
that's
know.
seated in between us. Right? You've been so patient. Thank you so much.
She in the hot seat. I don't know if she noticed, but her chair is red.
Stop scaring her.
I know, right?
Stop scaring her. But just want to thank you. You drove all the way up from Woodbridge, Virginia, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
Absolutely. So let me introduce everyone to those that may not know and those that are tuning in that already may know her, because hopefully she has some folks that are tuning in that do already know her. But for those that are being introduced to her, I want to introduce everyone to Miss LaShana Lloyd, who is a Christian author, writer, blogger, speaker, and life coach for women. Her mission is to prepare women around the world by inspiring and encouraging them to walk purposely in their calling for God. She is the founder and owner of Faith-Led Life and Faith-Led Life Coaching, LLC, where she teaches women how to uncover hidden challenges that may be sabotaging their purpose so that they can live the life God intended for them to live. LaShana was featured in the best-selling book called collaboration entitled "You Have No Idea the Hell I've Been Through." 22 women who push from pain to purpose. LaShana is originally from Clio? Clio. Make sure it's South Carolina, but currently resides in Northern Virginia. You can learn more about her through her website at about her at www.faithledlife.com, and that's faithledlife.com. So I want to introduce everybody to Miss LaShana Lloyd. So welcome to the Christian Authors on Tour TV show. We thank you for coming up and being with us today to be able to talk just a little bit about you, your message, and your books. And I'd like for you, I know we read the resume, I know we read the bio, but if you could just start by just telling everyone who's out there that may be listening just something that's not on the bio about you that they might not know.
Me, for something that is not listed on this bio here, I used to be in the military. I served in the Army for 15 years.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I retired in 2015, and shortly after I retired, I relocated here. It was a faith walk to the DMV area, to Woodbridge, Virginia.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So again, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. And talk a little bit about that transition from the military to life coach, and published author.
I know, right?
Tell us a little bit about that journey.
I don't know where to begin with it, but when I retired from the military in 2015, it was a very dark, very blurred season for me because the way that I had to exit the military, which is what I touch on in my "You Have No Idea" book.
Okay.
So it was not the fact that I had to leave the military; it was how I left the military. Yes. So with that, I had no idea what direction I was going to take. I had no idea what lied ahead of me. All I could do was just trust in God.
Amen.
And plus the fact with me moving to a city and a state that I never lived in before, had no knowledge about it. All I did was be obedient to him. This is where he told me to go. So it was like an Abraham moment.
Oh, wow.
Leave your kindred, leave what you're used to, and then come to a place that's unfamiliar to you. So that's what I did, and it was in 2015, and went from a place of darkness to now knowing what my purpose is, and just loving every moment of it.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
That is awesome. Now, can you talk a little bit about, and I want you to talk about the book that I have sitting right here in front of me, What's Blocking Your Confidence? Can you talk a little bit about what made you want to write this particular book that you had here? How did that come? How did that thought come to you about writing about confidence and what's blocking people's confidence? Because I know a lot of people, maybe they sitting back and they have something that's blocking their confidence. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about, how you came up with the title with writing the book and what made you want to write this particular book?
Absolutely. What's blocking your confidence it was something that was birthed from my personal testimony. It was something that I went through, having lack of confidence, low self-esteem, things that I endured growing up, things that I endured while I was in the military, and what's blocking your confidence. If you look at the front of the book cover, it's a door. It's a brick door, and what that brick wall, what it represents is fear.
Oh, wow.
So that's what was blocking my confidence was the spirit of fear. Not afraid to move forward, not, wanting to move, or if I did move, whether or not I would get the approval of others, whether or not, just because of things that I've gone through in the past and things I was going through at that present time, that was hindering my confidence from coming through. But the more I developed a deeper relationship with God, the stronger my confidence became.
Yeah.
And the way that I was able to develop my confidence was getting more and more into His Word. And just reading what His Word says about me, reading what He talks about as far as confidence, and it overrode everything that I went through in my past. Okay. Even with, God has me in a season of transparency right now, and He was just peeling off those layers with the first book that I was in, and it was a sequel. It was a continuation with What's Blocking Your Confidence. When I was in the military, and I touched on this in What's Blocking Your Confidence, I suffered from what is called post-traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD. Oh, wow. Yes. With PTSD, when I was deployed, I came under fire a lot. Our base was shot at a lot. So as a result of that, New Year's Day and 4th of July were bad holidays for me, because the fireworks that went off, they reminded me of the sounds. Right. Right. So I was traumatized about that for a long time. So it's just things like that that I was supernaturally delivered from. Amen. Some people, they suffer from it for the rest of their lives, but it was something God supernaturally healed me from, because I cried out to Him for the healing. Yeah. And it's just things like that I touch on, things that are preventing other people's confidence from coming forward. I touch on this in the book as well. So it was basically my test that birthed What's Blocking Your Confidence, because at one point in time, my confidence was blocked.
Wow. That's a powerful testimony. Yeah. Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about the responses that you've received from readers? Because I'm sitting here like, wow. So I know you must have had some, really interesting responses from folks.
I had. The responses, they were shocking to me. They blew my mind. It was so many women who reached out to me, was just thanking me. For some of them, they said, I was reading my story. Wow. I was reading my story. I had one sister in Christ who recently, she asked, would I be able to re-edit the book and add questions to the book? So that she could present it to her church as a form of a Bible study. Right. So I got back with my publisher yesterday, actually. So now I have a workbook. Right.
That was exactly what I was getting ready to say. So that publisher is right on it. It's like, no, don't ever edit the book. Let's do the workbook that goes along with it. Absolutely.
So Prophetess Kimberly Moses, I contacted her. She jumped right on it. She was like, let's make it happen. We started the draft yesterday for it. By this weekend, I should be finished with the workbook.
So that's awesome.
Awesome. Quick turnaround. Awesome. So it's all glory going to God. The response to this book has been phenomenal, and it has just been released in August.
Oh, wow.
So I've received a lot of positive testimonials about it.
That's just awesome. Now, one thing that you just talked about that I want to touch on, and you talked about fear, and a lot of folks hear the word. Well, we've heard the term fear stands for facing every. What is it? False evidence appearing real.
And I put that in my book.
But here's what I came up with. Okay. Another acronym for fear. And it has to do with the fear factor. I don't know how many people are familiar with the show Fear Factor. Mm-hmm. How you had to do certain things that you were just totally afraid of. You're like, oh, I'm not doing it. But here's what I took fear and I made it into facing every assignment relentlessly. It's facing every assignment relentlessly and going through, because we're going to all have obstacles that we go through, that come upon us, but understanding the assignment that comes through with what we have. And when you face that assignment relentlessly, you go through it. You have the confidence that you talk about to be able to go through. So I think that's when I saw you have the effective ways to conquer your fears. That's what it is. Facing every assignment relentlessly, going after and saying, this is something that's there, but I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get through to the other side of through, as my mother says, the other side of through. Can you just talk about? I want you to talk about your other book. You have no idea, which was a collaboration, and I want you to talk about that perspective, writing this individual book versus writing a collaboration book with other authors, and what that difference is in that.
Okay. Well, with You Have No Idea the Hell I've Been Through, the subtitle is 22 Women Who Push From Pain to Purpose. So the book itself, it's in regards to 22 different women, went through everything from prostitution to being abused to just infidelity, and their husband was a pastor of a church. It's like different issues that all of us have gone through in life, but we took what we went through and we got through it. We did not allow it to overwhelm us long. We just got through it, and different women in the book, they talk about the different ways that they were able to get through everything what they got through. Of course, I got through with the help of my father, my spiritual father. Yes, so Lord. I give all glory to him. But in this book, I touched on, growing up in a household where I saw my father abuse my mother at a very young age. I also touched on how I was sexually abused, and of course, now I went in more depth about how I was blackballed from the military, and just what led me to the point of where I was not knowing what lied ahead of me after the military, to now just waiting to see what the next step is going to be, where God leads me with that. But the difference between being in this book and being with other women, it was fun. None of us knew each other prior to the book. We met when we went to the book launch in Atlanta. So just being with all of these young ladies, it was powerful. It was absolutely amazing for all of us to be able to share a chapter of our story. We all were limited with what we could say because we had to share the floor with 20 plus other women. So that was the only, I wouldn't say barrier, but it was just, that was the only thing, the distinction between what's blocking your confidence, because it was just me. It was just me. And with my publisher, she was just like, whatever the Holy Spirit says, you just let it all out. So I was free to just release it. And the more I talk about both of my stories, the more I feel like I'm getting set free all over again. So it's absolutely amazing.
And oftentimes, as Christian authors, we write with the heart to want to help others, but our writing is very therapeutic for us as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I hear that, I heard that as you were, sharing your testimony and talking about this whole process for you, and so that is just amazing. I want you to talk a little bit more about your publisher and your publishing process.
Okay, so with the You Have No Idea book, her name is Taria Avant. She was Taria.
She's bad. That's a bad sister right there.
Taria's bad. If you don't know Taria,
I know, right?
Absolutely. She's amazing. And when I issued my story to her through her assistant, she said that I was the first woman who had an experience with the military the way that I did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she said she knew of other women who were in the military, and she was just telling me, she was encouraging me, like, you need to get this story out there. This is something that can definitely, I was never in the military, but this can definitely help somebody out. And that encouraged me even more with that. So she was the mastermind behind You Have No Idea. With What's Blocking Your Confidence, this book was published by Prophetess Kimberly Moses with Rejoicing Essential Publishing Company. Prophetess Kim, she has a powerful platform with her standing in everything that she does, and she also publishes her own books too. So when we met up, it was just an outpour of the Holy Spirit. It was just a quick, sudden outpour of it. I had the manuscript done in 3.5 months.
All right.
With her. So it was a quick turnaround for me with it. So both processes, different individuals, but the result was still the same, which was the word coming out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, for those that they may want to have you come and either speak, hire you as a life coach, as a coach to be able to have you do that. Can you give your contact information to them so that they can reach out to you?
Absolutely. You can reach me at my website at www.faithledlife.com. You can just reach me through email as well at info@faithledlife.com, and you can just take it from there.
Wow, the time always goes so
quickly.
You know, we only have a few minutes, but I want to open the floor up to you to kind of leave our audience with some words of wisdom or encouragement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing with the enemy he tries to do is he tries to make us feel as if whatever it is that we're going through, he tries to make it feel as if we are the only ones who are going through it. And one thing he is a master at doing, if you allow him to, is trying to keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
When you keep your mouth shut, you can't expose him.
Yeah.
But when you walk in the faith that God has given you, there's nothing that you would not be able to conquer. There's nothing that you would not be able to handle with him. So it's like I said with one of my my words of wisdom, you would never be able to heal from that you choose to conceal. So the more you keep it covered, the more you're giving the enemy power over you. So just release it and just let your voice be heard. Let your prayers go up to heaven, and let the Father take care of it.
Yes.
And I like that. I'm just gonna give you this. Keep your mouth shut. That sounds like a book title to me. I'm just saying, LaShana. Man, don't do that. I like that.
Website information as well.
Absolutely. My website again is www.faithledlife.com. I'm on all social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. And my email address for anyone who wants to reach out to me for speaking engagements or anything else life coaching wise is info@faithledlife.com.
All right, and thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. And Leroy, wow, it's always good to co-host with you.
Absolutely. If you would have asked me not even a year ago, do you see yourself being on TV doing something like this?
Yes.
I'd have been like, you done lost your mind.
Be ready.
I know, right? So it is just, Lynn, I can't thank you enough for the vision that you have and being obedient to what God is telling you to do and to move. So I'm just thankful to be able to be alongside with you, and that you trust me enough, because this isn't something that I take for granted, because you didn't have to select me, in order to be able to be here. So I'm so appreciative of you asking me to be a part of this, and I'm having a ball. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm having a ball with it. I'm enjoying it so much. Brought me out of my shell, if you can believe that.
Amen. And I'm enjoying it as well. And I hope you are enjoying it. We air live every Friday on the WBGR Gospel Network, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't watch us live, you're welcome to watch us in reruns on YouTube or at caotv.blogspot.com. And if you're a Christian author or a Christian publisher and you would like to be here in the red seat with us, feel free to give us a call at 800-929-1418. You can also visit us online at www.christianauthorsontour.com. We're so looking forward to seeing you October 14th. Mark that on your calendar. That's a Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. See you then, and God bless.
God bless.